afternoon. The Philippine economy grew 5.6% year-on-year in 2023, failing to hit the government's growth target of 6 to 7% for last year. The Philippine Statistics Authority says the 5.6% growth in 2023 is lower than the 7.6% expansion in 2022. While this growth is below the government target, Socioeconomic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan says it keeps the country in the position as one of the best performing economies in the region. According to the PSA, the economy grew at an annual rate of 5.6% in the fourth quarter of 2023, easing from the revised 6% expansion in the third quarter of last year. At present, the government's biggest worry is the prolonged El Niño dry spell, which is predicted to last until the second quarter of 2024 and may push up food and power costs. Another challenge for the economy is the high interest rate environment that can hurt consumption and investments. President Bongbong Marcos is firm on his position that economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution must be amended, adding that the Senate and House of Representatives must be kept separate in the process. In an interview in Vietnam, Marcos says he has been in continuous talks with legal experts and Congress leaders. This despite the lawmakers' ongoing tussle over the controversial People's Initiative. The People's Initiative for Charter Change considers a joint voting of the Senate and the House of Representatives. However, the 24-member Senate was opposed to the idea, pointing out that they may easily be eclipsed by the House, which has over 300 lawmakers. According to Marcos, it is best to uphold the bicameral nature of Congress and allow them to vote separately in the process.
The best analysis and interpretation that we have is that the legislature is of a bicameral nature, and therefore that implies that they will vote separately. So how that will be done now is what we are trying to figure out. Well, how will it be done so that both houses' role in this bicameral system is preserved, and that is what we are working on right now.
President Bongbong Marcos acknowledges that the People's Initiative to amend the 1987 Constitution has been politicized. In an interview in Vietnam on Tuesday, Marcos says he has been in continuous discussion with both chambers of Congress amid their ongoing clash over the People's Initiative as he sees the issue is being politicized.
Napupunta sa ibang usapan at nagagamit na pampolitika itong issue na ito. So I have asked the leaders of both houses and again some of the best constitutional minds that we have in the Philippines to come up with a simpler solution that does not cause so much controversy.
Marcos further says he was not certain if the People's Initiative approach is still a workable option for his administration to amend the 1987 Constitution. This comes as the signature campaign for charter change via People's Initiative has caused a rift between the Senate and the House of Representatives. Even the president's relatives in Congress have clashed over the People's Initiative, with his sister Senator Amy Marcos and cousin Speaker Martin Romualdez figuring in a heated verbal exchange on the issue. Nevertheless, Marcos remains firm on his position to amend the economic provisions of the 1987 Constitution. He also expresses that the Senate and House of Representatives must be kept separate in the process.
The best analysis and interpretation that we have is that the legislature is of a bicameral nature, and therefore that implies that they will vote separately. So how that will be done now is what we are trying to figure out. Well, how will it be done so that both houses' role in this bicameral system is preserved, and that is what we are working on right now.
President Bongbong Marcos says the UniTeam with Vice President Sara Duterte remains intact. Marcos and Duterte ran and won under the UniTeam banner in the 2022 national elections. In an interview in Vietnam, Marcos says the tandem is still vibrant and working.
It's exactly the same because she hasn't said anything of that nature. And wala naman siyang sinasabi na ganyang klase. So, hindi naman nagbabago.
The Vice President's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, had earlier accused Marcos of being a drug user, claiming that he was shown evidence of Marcos's alleged narcotics use. The Vice President's brother had also called for Marcos to resign, which she says was only coming from a place of brotherly love. Asked about his relationship with the Vice President, Marcos says it remains the same, adding that Vice President Duterte has not echoed her family members' statements.
If you remember, UniTeam is not just one party or two parties or three parties. It's the unification of all hopefully all the political forces in the Philippines to come together for the good of the country. And that is still there. It is still vibrant. It is still working, and we will continue on that basis.
Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Amid the word war with the Dutertes, President Bongbong Marcos says UniTeam remains intact. President Marcos firm on Chacha but says Senate and House of Representatives must be kept separate. And the Philippine economy grows 5.6% in 2023, failing to hit the government's target of 6 to 7%. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.